It's great to be here, and we want to thank Sama for giving us the opportunity to host this lunch. We have actually, I think, a very valuable program for you guys. I learned a long time ago that content is key, and you have a lot of content today, believe me. I will start with Ross McGuinness, who is Vice President of MOPAR Operation for North America. And he's going to talk not only about what are we doing now for MOPAR, but I'll invite you to think about a little bit about the future. In an industry in the middle of a big disruption, what's going to be the future of the customer? How we take care of the customer? That's going to be a big battlefield, and we are getting ready for that, right? And also you saw two vehicles downstairs, right? You go to all these places, there are always vehicles, so what? These vehicles, guys, only a handful of media, and by handful I'm saying no more than 20 people around the world have driven the two vehicles we brought downstairs. So it's not a minor investment we made in terms of time and resources to bring those two vehicles. And to tell you more about them, we have also Todd Reddick, who is the head of product planning for MOPAR. Okay? So with that, I'd like to start probably with a short video. Okay. So we warm up the things for Ross. Actually, Ross spent time in Brazil, Venezuela, etc. So he has a strong international experience as well. So before we go to Ross, let's take a quick look at the video.
Here's to a brand that stands for standing out, to a deep-rooted performance heritage. A brand built on 80 years of innovation, passion, authenticity. A brand with the inherent belief that your vehicle should move you in more ways than one. This brand, this family, always looks ahead and forever has your back.
Good morning, everybody. As RL said, my name is Ross McGuinness. I have responsibility for MOPAR sales and product development in North America. I send my regards from Pietro Gornier. My boss was supposed to be here today, but had a conflict at the last second and asked me to step in for him. So I received the tough assignment of coming to beautiful Miami and these views. So I thank him for not being available. Oops, there. This year MOPAR is turning 80 years young. I'd like to share a few points about how we started, where we are today, and as RL said, where do we see ourselves in the future? Or I should say the decades to come. If you think about it, for a brand not only to survive but thrive over 8 decades, it's nothing short of amazing. Because if you look at the Standard & Poor's Index, 500 Index, that was created back in 1955, only 12% of the original Fortune 500 companies are in existence today. So whether it's a company or a brand, to survive and thrive over 8 decades is, in an ever-changing market, is pretty amazing. For a brand to survive the turbulent waters of the creative destruction of the market-based economy, I would say it must have the spirit of the times. And this is particularly true if you want to survive in the automotive industry. I think you've all have seen over the last 10 years with bankruptcies of a couple of the major automotive companies, the recall. There's the autonomous driving. There's been a lot of disruption in the industry over the last 10 years, I would say. With the automotive industry still in its infancy, MOPAR was born back in August 1st of 1937 with a single product. It was an antifreeze product. A replica of which we're going to have for you later today as your press kit. So it's pretty unique, so I think you'll enjoy that. MOPAR has continued to capture the spirit of the times and adapt and expand throughout the years. For example, in the 60s and the 70s, MOPAR was synonymous with high performance, either on the strip or on the street. Enthusiasts began calling their cars their MOPAR vehicles, and which gave an emotional dimension to our brand to this day that we honor and cherish through our participation in the NHRA drag racing and also our special limited edition MOPAR vehicles. Today we have the MOPAR 17, which is a Dodge Challenger that you'll actually get a chance to drive later today, which is one of our special MOPAR vehicles. We started this back in 2010. In the 80s and 90s, when the MOPAR grew even more, when the Jeep brand came into, at the time, the Chrysler family, resulting in the addition of Jeep performance parts and accessories to our rapidly expanding portfolio. And the portfolio has continued to grow significantly, and now we have the Jeep performance parts portfolio, which is for the die-hard off-road enthusiast. Vehicles such as the Jeep Switchback, which we have here today, is a result of some of the things that we have done with it. It kind of shows you what we can do with the vehicle. Here's a Jeep Switchback. And and vehicles such as the legendary Jeep Wrangler offer a perfect canvas for accessorization. The Jeep Switchback concept clearly demonstrates that the sky is the limit of what you can do with the rich brand of the Jeep and also with the Jeep performance parts. It is a very capable vehicle that can go anywhere at any time. Think about this, 98% of our Wrangler customers have bought at least one MOPAR Jeep performance part for it. 98%. I don't think there's a lot of the other OEMs that could say that it's really industry leading, what we have done with the Jeep performance parts. But 98% of our customers buy at least one of our accessories. Today, at MOPAR, we continue to evolve and adapt to a new paradigm. It's not just about cars, but it's about the customer, and how we handle the customer experience is at the center of what we do. Think about this. Depending on what study, what industry you're in, to acquire a customer that says it's 5 to 25 times more expensive to acquire a new customer than to keep the existing customer that you have. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, it's much cheaper to take care of the customer that you have for the long term, because after they buy the car, you still have this customer journey with that customer until they trade it in, turn it in for something else. So really what our focus is on now is taking care of the customer. So another thing that we are concentrating on is turning buyers into customers. We all understand the importance of keeping the customers happy and making sure that their buying experience exceeds their expectations. At MOPAR, we understand that, and the decision to buy a vehicle is only the tip of the iceberg of the relationship. And as I mentioned, is once you buy it, you're going to be with us for several years, hopefully even longer. So we need to make sure that we are taking care of you and we are transforming buyers into customers. And that mission and vision is summarized in one of our brand taglines: all in the service of the people who drive us. It's more than a tagline, because it's the mantra of all the employees that we have around the world in what we do. So how has MOPAR grown over the last 80 years? We are now the full line service, parts, and customer care brand for FCA. We provide service and parts for over 70 million vehicles on the road today in over 150 markets around the world. We have a portfolio over 500,000, over 500,000 parts, and employ over 7,500 people. Again, it's not about the cars, it's really about the customer and how do we support those customers. And we serve those customers in three distinct ways. First, we provide fast, efficient support to our customers in terms of maintaining and repairing their vehicles with the quality and the promptness they deserve. We all know how frustrating it is when you go into a dealership and the parts aren't available. You got to wait 2 or 3 days to get your vehicle repaired. And if you're a small or large business owner and you have commercial vehicles like a Ram truck or ProMaster City, and your vehicle is down because it doesn't have parts, we don't have parts, it's more than just an inconvenience. You're losing money because you're not being able to use your vehicle. We are constantly training and investing in the business all over the world. For example, in April, we launched our newest PDC, or one of our newest PDCs, the Winchester Distribution Center in Winchester, Virginia. And it improves the service of about 200 dealers across the eastern seaboard, so we can get the parts that they need and when they want them. Also in Brazil, we just launched a couple weeks ago a PDC in São Paulo that will improve the service levels in Brazil, not only in Brazil, but all of Latin America. Another area I'd like to call the freedom to choose. These are actions our customers take because they choose to, not because they're required, because it's a personal decision, an emotional decision of how they can showcase their personality and passion for their vehicles. It's a huge part of our business, offering the performance parts and accessories so you can upfit your car and make it personal. The accessorization is about a $70 billion business a year, and it's a key part of who we are and what we do. And because we know our customers, we know that customers who accessorize their vehicle also have a larger brand loyalty because of that. To enhance that side of the business, a few years ago, we launched the MOPAR custom shops around the United States, actually North America, which is basically a workshop right outside our manufacturing facilities. It allows their customers to order their vehicle, customize it before they even take delivery, the keys to the car. And what is the advantage of this? It's because when you get it customized in our custom shop, it comes with the factory-based warranty. You can get it on the Monroney label of the car, and you can include it in your financing. Because a lot of times we find that when people buy their car, then they want to accessorize it, and they don't have the money to accessorize. This way you can package it all together and get it financed. Today we have 13 custom shops, including one in Brazil and one in Mexico. Last year we did over 270,000 vehicles through our custom shop. Since 2010, we have also created each year a limited edition MOPAR special edition vehicles, such as the MOPAR 17. And this has enabled us to take a production car and make it a MOPAR car, and we have gotten great success with that because usually those sell out immediately once we do that. And the Dodge Challenger we have here today is kind of an example of that. And to give you a little context about accessorization, the Dodge Challenger is the highest per new unit retail vehicle that we sell. In other words, on average, a person who buys a Challenger spends over $1,000 to accessorize it, to personalize it, each and every vehicle, over $1,000, which is quite a bit when you think about it. we have also taken the creative process to show how MOPAR can go from the track to the trail with the Jeep switchback. When you look at that, it's got MOPAR accessories all throughout it, where we've accessorized it between the lift kit, the wheels, some of the things in the interior. Todd Beddick, who will be talking to you later, will kind of talk a little bit more about these two vehicles in detail. But creating these vehicles is probably one of the funner parts of our job. We do this. Our role at MOPAR, when we look at the crystal ball, it's not just about doing our job today, but also ensure that the brand is around and relevant 20, 30, and 40 years from now. And I'm sure it hasn't escaped this group the level of disruption the industry has had, as I mentioned, over the last probably 7 to 10 years. From electric vehicles to autonomous driving to car sharing to new market entrants from people within the industry and outside the industry, the landscape of our business will continue to evolve and change in the coming years. But regardless of the new technology or the business model for MOPAR, we know if we keep the customer at the focus of what we do, we will be able to survive and thrive for the next 8 decades. In the coming years, the next 5 to 10 years, most of our customers will be millennials. The world for them is digital. I know my kids, when they go to buy their first car, it's going to be a totally different experience than the way we buy cars today. They probably won't go to a dealership. They won't to buy the car. They probably won't go to service like we go to service. Things will be done totally different. They're going to expect a whole new approach towards buying and the customer experience. And let me share with you a couple initiatives that we are working on. One of them is the MOPAR Y Advisor. It's an industry-leading tablet-based technology that we use on the service lanes that really puts all the information about the car and the buyer at the fingertips of the technician so they can handle the customer much more efficiently. We have almost over 2 million smartphone app downloads that offer a custom mobile experience for those who have an FSA branded vehicle. One of the things that we're really excited about is the over-the-air software update program. We are in the process of updating over 2 million vehicles over the air through the cellular wireless system, where you don't have to come into the dealership to get a flash, to get a programming update and certain things. So there's no cost to the customer, no hassle for the customer. It's done automatically through the airwaves, which I think will be a time saver, and it makes it very, very efficient for people to get their car fixed. For those who do have to come into the dealership for service, we do offer express lane. We have over 1,700 express lanes around the world where you can come in and get minor maintenance such as an oil change and oil filter in under 30 minutes, because we know time is of the essence, and we make it convenient for people to come in and get that done.
Is that a freestanding operation? It's independent of a dealership?
It's associated with dealers. Sometimes it is connected to the dealership, and we have some that are standalones but owned by a dealership. We have also opened a social engagement center at Centerline, Michigan, which is our MOPAR World headquarters, where we monitor and engage with our customers. We monitor 67 different social media channels to assist our customers. We see this and other similar engagement centers as a key gateway to customer satisfaction and retention. Just this year, we've had over 70,000 posts we reviewed. We've engaged with over 10,000 customers. This is an increase of up over 40% this year over last year, and I think that will continue to grow. But the beauty of this is we can reach out to our customers early on when we see these posts, engage with them, try to fix their problems, and therefore will help us with our brand reputation. 4G communications. We're getting ready to launch 4G communications, whether you own a truck, Jeep, car, whatever of our vehicles. It can turn your vehicle into a hotspot, and which makes it very convenient. And also, we're also looking at where you can even synchronize your Apple Watch through the 4G in the vehicle. So there's more to come on this one. So I began our conversation today about concepts of creative destruction, of capitalism, and the spirit of times. The current and upcoming levels of disruption are not unique to our industry. I think all of you probably have seen it firsthand in your industry, in the media, where the internet came in and it changed the way that you conducted your business. But as you're all here today, so you've had to evolve, you've had to change, to adapt, and that's what we're doing also. At MOPAR, we look to the future with optimism. We are aggressively embracing a broad array of new technologies to resolve current problems and avoid future problems. Everything that we do is about taking care of the customer and making sure that they have a great customer experience and a customer journey. We are fully invested in this vision because it's imperative that at every step of the way that we are lock stock with our customers during that journey. A quote that was attributed to Albert Einstein: "The measure of intelligence is the ability to change." It's not the ability to change, just that it's ability to adapt, to predict, and to change. So with that, I'll turn over to Todd Beddick, who is the head of our accessories portfolio.
So there, that's me. So in case any of you guys wonder, I know I was introduced as the head of product planning. So what that means is I'm the car guy that gets to go and work with our team and figure out what it is that our customers want in terms of making their car their own. Whether it's a set of floor mats, whether it's lowering kits, lift kits, anything to make the car more capable and more user-friendly for the customers. So we have two examples, and I will try to be quick. I can be a little long-winded, but I didn't realize I'm the next step between us and lunch. Is that right, Ario?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, so I'll try to be quick. If anybody gets hungry, we'll bring in some snacks. So what we're going to show you today, we've got two vehicles here that really show the two sides of MOPAR, what we do on the street, and also through the Jeep Performance Parts line, what we do for the trail. So the first vehicle is the MOPAR 17. Ross had mentioned before that every year since 2010, we've built limited edition vehicles that we take to our custom shops and we upfit in very limited numbers. The MOPAR 17 is the latest edition for that. The vehicle is just starting to hit dealerships now. And then I also want to share with you the Jeep Switchback. This is a concept vehicle that we did for the Easter Jeep Safari this year. It shows a mixture of products that we have available for sale today, as well as a number of conceptual parts. We use shows like the Moab event and SEMA as ways to kind of test the marketplace. So it's very important when we bring these out to media to understand what the feedback is that we get. We do monitor and see what people are saying. And if you look back in history, the last few years of what we've shown at those events, a lot of that's in our portfolio today. So it's very impactful of what we do. We don't just create concepts for the fun of it. Now, MOPAR 17. We started these limited edition vehicles in 2010 with the MOPAR 10, which was also a Challenger. This year's edition is specifically to commemorate the 80th anniversary of MOPAR. So we start with a Dodge Challenger Scat Pack Shaker, and we take that to our custom shop, and that's when we do this very slick paint job. It's a two-tone paint job. You can either get it with the Contusion Blue and Black or the Billet Silver and Black. And again, homage to the 80th, there's 80 of each cars being built. So 160 vehicles total, like I said, very, very limited edition. The paint job is the first thing about this car that really stands out. When you go and you look at the vehicle down there, I invite you to go take a look very closely at it. It is when it comes to our custom shop, we actually hand prep the vehicle. So a person with a sander starts to sand it. We hand mask it off. We hand spray the paint. Then, after we're done with that, we clear coat the whole car. And this, what you're seeing down there is what actually, it's not trickery, it's not a specially prepped car, it's what our customers are going to get. It is a paint job unlike anything that our company has done, and unlike what basically you talk Bentley and some of these other guys that do paint jobs like this. This is impressive. So, starting point of the vehicle, like I said, is the Scat Pack Shaker. It's got a 485 horsepower, 6.4 liter engine under the hood. And we've, the Shaker bubble is obviously, this is an iconic piece. This was on every production car. This is all done by MOPAR. We actually designed and developed the Shaker system that goes on every production vehicle. And in this particular case, we painted it gloss black to match the rest of the paint treatment, so it fits in with the rest of the vehicle. We have what's called the air catcher headlight here. So all Dodge Challengers have a removable section in the center of the headlight. When you go to the vehicle, you'll notice that there's a duct that actually takes the air from the headlight and puts it right into the cold air intake. So you're getting air coming in from the shaker hood, from the fender well, through the headlights. So you got nice cold air to make even more power. Onto the side of the vehicle, again showing the profile of the two-tone paint job. And another special feature to notice is the 392 on the side. You got the MOPAR Omega M put on its side to kind of give it a little bit of a special touch. That's not a sticker. That's actually painted into the car and then clear coated over. So again, these are the small touches that make the MOPAR Special Editions special. On the back of the car, this is the view most people are going to see with that 485 horsepower. You're going to be walking away from most people on the street. We added a few special touches. We brought in the tail pipes from the Hellcat in gloss black, and we also put our new MOPAR design badge on the back. So again, people are going to know what it is that you're driving. On the interior, took the leather and suede seats. We embroidered the MOPAR logo into them with a tungsten stitch. Also tungsten stitching throughout the entire inside of the car. So just very classy look to the inside, and again letting you know it's something special. Under the hood, we've added a couple of extra performance features. All the shakers come with the shaker system and the cold air intake. We've added to it a new set of strut tower braces that we just came out with. Typically a strut tower brace goes over the top of the engine. Not an option with a shaker. So what we did instead was we triangulated to the back header from the top of the strut, and that way it helps stiffen the car. And we actually we did back-to-back testing on this car with and without, and we actually drive all of the parts that come out there, whether it's a lift kit, whether it's this. Our engineers, our product planners, everybody's out there testing it. I personally drove this and I couldn't believe the difference. It was amazing, just those two little parts made. And then also under the hood, this is where you get your numbered badge. It tells you what number of the 80 of each one that you have. So if you're at a car show or something like that, you lift your hood, everyone can see that you've got something special. And then finally, and I've got an example here, this is the individualized owner's kit that comes with every vehicle. So inside of it, you've got several things that commemorate your vehicle. This is a birth certificate. You've got a thing that tells you about all the special features of the vehicle. It comes with a signed letter from Pietro, as well as, there's just a number of things in here, other parts you can buy to put on your vehicle. And then, here's the metallic, this is the actual birth certificate in aluminum. Comes with a keychain, some other pieces. There's a badge in here, some other things you can do to.
Is there a die-cast car?
What's that? No, it's a paperweight.
Oh.
So a desk stand.
No die-cast.
No die-cast. No die-cast. And then an 80th anniversary badge as well. So a lot of care goes into this. Is to purchase them to feel truly special. So that's why you get this personalized owner's kit. It comes to you after the vehicle's delivered, because obviously we have to know things like the VIN number and the customer name and all of that. So I'll try not to step on it when I go back over there later. So that's the MOPAR 17. You guys can get the chance to actually drive that on the road today and take it for a small circuit. So, and the other piece is they are all manual transmissions. All 160 cars are all manual transmissions, so you get that direct driver connection. All right, good. I got a few.
Is anyone available yet, or?
Yeah, we have started deliveries. We received the cars from the production plant, and since it's all hand done, we're only able to do about 2 a week. So they started to come out in April to dealers. It'll be being shipped all the way through August.
On your distribution, is it, you probably have a select number of dealers?
I've been introduced, but you saw when you came in, probably Kimberly Schultz is here. I want to thank you all for coming. As you know, I'm here, not Jaime, because Jaime is off on business again. And you will be pleased to know that I don't have any real business, so maybe you can. We do have one announcement before I forget it. On July 20th, I guess Kimberly will be back. She's making up for lost time since she couldn't make it at the Topless for the Jeep Tempest. Mark that on your calendar, July 20th. All right, Marcel?
Thank you. Well, congrats to MOPAR for 80 years. It's amazing history. And thank you for bringing those wonderful two products, which we will be able to drive and enjoy. And like Ariel said, it's very limited. Only, I think, 25 people have actually seen it. So definitely take advantage after lunch to drive them. Wanted to share, we do have a new member, which you guys met at Topless in Miami. It was Jim Henry out of Detroit. So he has signed in as a new member. Treasury report, we're at $7,800. So we're very well for the rest of the year. And we're working with Paul and the rest of the board to seal the luncheon, Price Day luncheon. So we already have commitment for the Price Day luncheon and for the other show, which we'll mention later on some other time. Don't forget, next month, thanks to Kimberly, we'll be seeing her again. And thank you once again, and
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thank you. No, thank you. Oh, sorry, there's a question.
Yes, have we introduced Larry Prince to the group yet?
Yes,
From,
last time, well,
oh.
Larry Prince is present. He's also a new member. Now he's been a new member for
For a month.
a couple of months or so, but new member Larry Prince, and thank you for coming down. I know you guys drove from Palm Beach, which is a ways, but thank you for
I
being
wish
here.
from Palm Beach.
Yeah, we're from
West-
Palm Beach.
We're from the poor relations over in West.
Well, thanks for coming down, and Larry, it's welcome, obviously, to have, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
And since Pepe's here, I'll do it for him so he doesn't have to stand up. Remember to send contributions to the website, which has news and things like that on it, and very many reviews. How many hits we getting these days, Pepe?
About 10,000.
How many?
10,000 a month.
10,000 hits a month.
It's good.
Pretty good.
And obviously, we're here to make sure social media, let's go crazy down there, and let's get everything and hashtag and do the whole thing, because that's what we're here to do, so it should be fun.
I mentioned Topless. I want to send my own personal thank you for all of you who made it. It was really probably our best event yet, out of 7. But if you have any suggestions or things like that, or any comments that you'd like to make, feel free to send them to me. My email address is pborden41@xxx.xxx, so I'm sure it will.
Oh, Lord.
No,
Where are
please.
we really gonna end up?
It's at yahoo.com, of course, or you can send them to anybody, really, and we'll